Okay, well, welcome everybody to tonight's Q Sciences product call, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Jane, and I will be hosting this call tonight. As I said, welcome, and thanks so much for being here, taking a little time out of your evening to come and learn more about our great products that we have here at Q Sciences. So we're really excited for this call tonight. We have a couple of special guests on the line that are going to speak to us tonight and share some information. And the topic of our call tonight is Q-Biotics, which is our fantastic controlled release probiotic that we have here at Q Sciences. So without further ado, I am excited to introduce our first guest, and that is Dr. Bill Moshofsky. And he is our Chief Medical Officer here at Q Sciences, if you don't know. He is a doctor that has about 30 years of medical experience as a family practice doctor. He has also served as the Chief of Staff at a hospital system out in Oregon where he lives. And here at Q Sciences, in his role as Chief Medical Officer, he does a lot to help us make sure that our products are safe and effective, that we have the best products that we can offer, and that all of our products are products that you can feel confident using yourself and sharing with the people that you love, knowing that they are the best of the best. So, Dr. Moshofsky, are you there?
Can you hear me, Jane?
Yep, loud and clear. Okay. Perfect. Well, thanks again for joining us, and I will turn the time over to you for a little bit here on the call to share more with us about Q-Biotics and how it's great for our health and the health of our loved ones and families. So, take it away.
All right, great. Thank you, Jane, and I do appreciate the opportunity to talk about Q-Biotics. It was, almost a year ago when I last had an opportunity to do so on a product call. Just a quick review. Probiotics are bacteria or actually even fungi that when taken into our bodies confer a positive benefit to us. And this is a traditional avenue to improve health. It's obviously, centuries, even millennia old. But it's interesting that only in the past 10 years or so that the medical community has become much more interested in the subject, likely driven by people who, received a benefit from taking it and talking to their doctors about it. Probiotics have been shown in studies to improve actually a wide variety of different things. A short list is allergy and asthma or immune modulated medical problems. Also, it can reduce blood pressure, but most of the literature has been focused on improving stomach disorders, which seems logical considering it's something you take orally. The data keeps coming in. There's a tremendous number of studies, but a recent one that I thought was quite good was published in 2012 and is what's called a meta-analysis, or a study in which the researchers actually take a very large number of independent studies and combine their results in a way that's statistically important and carries a lot of weight because of that. Initially, this meta-analysis looked at 2,500 different studies, but settled on 80 published peer-reviewed studies to do the meta-analysis on. So this was a very extensive evaluation. The conclusions from the study were many, but the ones that I felt were most important is that probiotics were helpful for nearly all of the 8 medical conditions that were identified in the 80 studies, which included types of diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, and many, many things that we run into as physicians on a daily basis, including infection from taking antibiotics. Interestingly, the number of probiotic colony counts, so you have a number of bacteria that you expect in your product, was generally equally effective between about 500 million and 10 billion. But interestingly enough, when the numbers got quite a bit higher in the trillions, that actually the products were less effective, which I thought was very interesting. All age groups benefit from taking probiotics, with children and infants benefiting more than adults, which is a tremendous bit of information for those interested in having their children and infants be healthy. The duration of use of 1 to 2 weeks seems to start to confer to the individual the desired improvement, but interestingly, longer studies that went 1 to 2 years actually showed a greater improvement. So I think that's quite helpful to us looking at it in terms of, is this something you just take and then it's over? You take it with, say, an antibiotic because you want to prevent any antibiotic-associated diarrhea problems. No. In fact, it's something that you take every day, and the improvement gets greater as you take it. So I think that in my opinion, the point of discussion about whether probiotics are helpful is really over. Probiotics are good for anyone taking them, from infants to seniors. So really the question that is necessary to answer at that point is, which is the best probiotic? And the studies, it was interesting that some studies that I've read show that a combination of probiotic bacteria in a product are better. This meta-analysis that recently came out in 2012 didn't really support that, but I really feel that individual species of bacteria may work better in certain individuals, and I'm looking for more data as time goes on, but I really believe that a combination of 2 to 4 bacteria is probably best. And we have 4 of the most commonly cited effective bacteria in our Q Biotics product. So, we have the right bacteria. Our caplet delivers 2 billion colony count, which is plenty based on the study. So really what separates out Q Science's product from the rest, in my opinion, is the caplet technology. So the caplet is designed so that when it's exposed to water, it forms a gel coating around the caplet. And for those of you with a science background, you know that the stomach acid is hydrochloric acid, which is virtually the strongest acid we know of. And interestingly enough, some bacteria are able to tolerate some acid, but in the Q Biotic product, they don't have to. Basically, they're shepherded through this acid milieu and then allowed to get into the small intestine, and actually this caplet will start to break up just past the portion where you get other enzymes dumping into the small intestine. So it really delivers 2 billion colony count to the small intestine where you want it to work. So, we have the best bacteria, the most trusted and studied. We have the right number, and we get them there in fine fashion. And also, this caplet actually has polysaccharide in it as part of its makeup. So polysaccharide actually is a nutrient for bacteria. So it's really a prebiotic, a compound substance that actually helps the probiotic bacteria to do their job. So it's this caplet technology that is really what separates out Q Biotics from Q Sciences from other products. Did you have a question or two, Jane, for me?
Yeah. I do have a couple of questions. Thanks for sharing that. That was great information, and I definitely learned a lot of new things. So I have a question about the number of bacteria. So you mentioned that we have 2 billion probiotic cultures in Q Biotics. So to me, obviously, that sounds like a huge number. So what is the benefit of taking this every day? Is this something, I mean, like if you're getting 2 billion when you take one, do you need to keep taking it every day? What is the benefit of taking that many on a daily basis?
It's because they're tiny and they're tiny relative to us. So there needs to be, a lot of them present in the digestive system to do the job. But I did find it quite interesting that if a half to 10 billion is good, why isn't 50 billion better? It seems perhaps logical that it would be, but in fact it's not. So there seems to be a sweet spot. The bacteria are processed the way the rest of the food that we take in and other things are processed. So replacing them is important because they don't go into your intestinal tract and hold on and survive, for a long period of time. They can attach a little bit, but they eventually are so to speak washed out in the process, if I can say it delicately. But it is, as it said in the study, it is important, it seems, to continue to take them as the longer duration studies showed even more improvement.
Gotcha. So it is something that you want to continually do on a daily basis.
I definitely do it to take myself. Of course, I take a Q Essentials pack twice a day. I take that probiotic is a huge part in that. And I didn't really go into more detail on the benefits, but there are many more benefits than the ones I mentioned as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. So you mentioned kind of some specific things like immune issues and stuff, but just for everyday people that are just looking to feel healthier in general, maybe not a specific condition, can you maybe talk a little bit about the benefits for those people?
Yeah, the probiotic is one of the things that's very, very important about it is that it prevents infection from other bacteria we don't want, and that's the quintessential kind of view of that is when you take an antibiotic because you have a bacteria you don't want in your system somewhere. The antibiotic is very likely not specific for that bacteria. It kills lots of different bacteria. And when that happens, your body is really susceptible to having bacteria get into it or express themselves, even bacteria that are already inside you, express themselves if they are not challenged by something else, a probiotic bacteria, which basically consumes all the resources and prevents them from causing a problem for you. And this is a well-proven fact that probiotics are helpful in patients taking antibiotics. But even in patients not taking antibiotics, bacteria from our environment, some of them incredibly dangerous bacteria, although most of those are found within a hospital setting, even in our own environments, there can be some of these bacteria. And keeping a very high colony count of good, healthy bacteria within your digestive system is protective against infections by these outlying bacteria. So that's one benefit. The second, I think, and maybe will turn out to be as equally as important, is the anti-inflammatory effect of the bacteria on the digestive system. The bacteria calm the lining of the stomach and or lining of the intestinal tract, and many inflammatory processes have their origin at the level of the intestinal tract, and so the bacteria are helpful in preventing that, which is why they do help patients with asthma, allergy, and eczema, which is an allergy-based skin problem.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that is perfect. Was there anything else? Oh, actually, one other question I had. I've heard people often say that taking Q-biotics with your Q96 can help in the absorption of the nutrients in Q96 as well. So how does Q-biotics fit together with the other products that Q Sciences offers?
Well, Tony has talked about this, and oftentimes, if he's given the time to give a full lecture or explanation of how Empower Plus Q96, started. He over nearly 20 years now has noticed that if a person's digestive system is not running effectively, then the absorption of all the micronutrients and minerals within Empower Plus Q96 they're not absorbed, and the benefit from that taking that is reduced, and it can be very dramatic. And he talks about this, and what is going on there is just basically what I was saying is that the bacteria just calm the digestive system. They prevent inflammation, which allows for more complete absorption, whether it's the vitamins and minerals in Empower Plus Q96 or the vitamins and minerals in the food you eat. Having a well-functioning digestive system is critical to absorbing what you need to be healthy, and certainly to absorbing Empower Plus Q96. They go together. They really do.
That's perfect. Well, thank you so much for being on the call tonight and for sharing all of that information. I think let's go now. We'll go to our next guest, and that is Scott Malone, and he is one of our leaders here at Q Sciences, a great guy, and he is going to tell us a little bit about his experience with Q-biotics. So, Scott, are you there?
Yes, thanks. I've been excited to be on the call with you tonight, and I appreciate being here with Dr. Moshofsky as well. Go Ducks, huh? So, listen, I appreciate what's been said already, because I've been involved with health and wellness nutrition for over 25 years, and for my own personal information, I've studied probiotics and proper digestion forever, and I have taken many, many, many different probiotics, and usually the way that they sell it to me is they'll take a bowl of oatmeal and they'll break open the capsule with the probiotics in it, and they pour them on the bowl of oatmeal, and they'll have one that doesn't have it on it and one that does, and while they're doing their presentation, and in sometimes 45 minutes or so, the bowl of oatmeal that has the probiotics in it is all mushy, and it's completely basically started this digestion process because of the actual bacteria that's in the probiotics. But when I would take it, it wouldn't work, and I could tell that it wouldn't work, and I would get like a bloated feeling. I would eat a meal, take the probiotics, and I would get this bloatedness, and it would just feel like it's just stuck in my system. And the thing that I know is that there's a what I tell people is that you have to move things through your system quickly, and I call it the transport time. From the time that the food comes inside your mouth till the time that it exits, there's a lot of things that have to happen to that food, and one of them is it has to move quickly. You need to get it in and out quickly, and then you need to be able to digest it, or you need to break it down. And there's a huge difference between digestion and putrefaction, because when food putrefies, it's not the same, and it creates horrible, awful things within your body. And Dr. Bill mentioned, the inflammation that's created in your digestive system. And when it breaks down, that protective coating, then it allows those little particles of food to get in those little cracks, and they actually putrefy right there inside your body, and it breaks it down, and it causes all these other problems with it. And so you've got to be able to move it through there quickly. And so you're in November 2012 when I first met with Dr. K and Dr. Bill there in Utah, and I got to hear his about his product, this double patented, by the way, probiotic product that he created, and how he told me how it worked. I was really, really excited to try it, first of all, because I really knew I could tell the difference. And so I had him give me some right away. I took it home, and within 24 hours, I mean, literally within less than one day, I could tell the difference. I could feel the difference. And basically, I can just tell you that it's smooth. It makes things really smooth, and things really flow and work really good, like they're supposed to. You know, the plumbing really starts working good, and things don't get clogged up and stuck in places where they're not supposed to be, and then they start putrefying and breaking down, giving off free radicals, and you have all these other things. And there's a guy that I know, his name is John Barron, Jon Barron. He's a really interesting guy, and he says this. He says, death begins in the colon. And really, you know, all of these things, the bad things that can happen to us begin right there, because this is the very first place that good things are supposed to happen to us in our body, in our mind, and in every place else in our body. And if we don't have this preparation done properly so that we can uptake nutrients and uptake all these things, then all these bad things are going to happen to us. And so probiotics is the first place, and every time I use and talk about everything that we have, it always begins with you got to have a preparation done within your gut so that you can get the uptake of the things that happen with our Q96 and our other products. And so I share it and swear by it and make sure that everybody gets it along with everything else, because it's critical for health, it's critical for wellness. It works. It's double patented. You can put it in a glass of water and see it work right before your eyes, and it's an amazing product, and we're so grateful to have it. So I love it, and I appreciate you letting me be on the call tonight.
Well, thank you so much, Scott. It's great to hear that information and great to hear from you. I love your enthusiasm for the product. I love it as well. I'm with you. I think it's great. I use it every day. So thank you so much to both of our guests. I want to thank Dr. Moshofsky as well for joining us. It's a great honor to have him on the call tonight and to have Scott as well. And I, again, want to thank all of you who joined us tonight and took a little time to learn more about this product. So just a reminder that we do these product calls every Thursday night. So be sure to join us again next week. And again, thank you so much to our speakers and all of you who joined us. And I hope you have a great weekend and keep queuing it up. Thanks, everybody.